That's a pretty sizable number. I'd say that's pretty good. And I'd say that's progress toward this vision. So it's really impressive. It's really exciting to see and be a part of. And that's everybody in this room, everybody on the Zoom world, everybody in Mount Pleasant. That's everybody coming together and continuing to push toward this. So a huge congratulations. Let's give everybody a round of applause for that. That's epic. So without further ado, we can't do great things without great partners. Bring it on. Next button. You know how to do that one? I don't. Karen,
I think most.
you got to talk to the Zoom.
I
world.
got to talk
Yeah.
to this. Oh, hi. I'm Karen Bryant with Ace Preferred Inspections. I've been doing this since 2009. So I've seen about everything. You know, everybody saying the sky is falling. I said, no, you weren't here in 2009 then, because that felt like the sky was falling. So we want to help you. And what we've seen, and I've given you a flyer that I think is most important right now, because a lot of the sales are new construction. I don't know if you're aware, the inspector for the municipality, each of our inspectors do 2 inspections a day. They do 30 to 40 a day. So they're not going to find everything. And if your client says, well, I've got a warranty, why do I need a home inspection? Here are some of the reasons that you'll see on your sheet. The improper strapping. You wouldn't think that the 4th picture of the glazed window would be that big of a deal. And it's a little sticker on it. And it's, if you fall down the stairs, you won't crash through the window. And we typically can walk around the house and find the sticker on another window. But we had a agent call us and we went and inspected it. And she said, they've called me back to sell the house. And the buyer's inspection company notated that. Well, it's pretty expensive to get one of those windows installed, especially when you're on a due diligence with closing coming soon. So those are the things that we go and we find, and especially engineered trusses, where the plumber cuts through an engineered truss that voids the warranty on that beam or joist, whatever the case may be. So we like to, if you can't convince them to get a complete home inspection, please try to convince them to get a pre-drywall. A pre-drywall runs about $325 to $375. That's before the drywall goes up. That's when we can see the electrical, the plumbing, and all of that. And it's so important because most builders are reputable, but they are dependent on subcontractors who will move to the next development for $1 more an hour. And we have one subdivision that we've been in where what I have at the subdivision is fine. The other half of the subdivision, the insulation was put backwards in every house. There's houses that we had a lady call us and her electric bill was extremely high, little old lady, of course. And we went and looked in her house and there was a good reason. There was absolutely no insulation in the attic. And so it's just important to protect yourself and protect your client to get either a pre-drywall or a final inspection on new inspections. I don't know if you're aware, I think one of our biggest selling points is that we have our owner is an engineer. And when you are getting a home inspection, that one line says, consult an engineer. Well, that's probably going to cost your client $450 an hour for an engineer to come out. If our inspector will take pictures of it and he'll send a description of it to Jeff, and that evening he'll get on the phone with your client, because some of them are like, no, if it says it might need an engineer inspection, we're going to move on. And he can usually talk them off the cliff and tell them if it's a serious deficiency or not. And that's at no cost to your customer. If we do have to go out, it's a billable event. And the other thing that I think is most important that we do, we're advising to get a CL 100 at the time of the complete home inspection. That way you don't have to wait to 5 or 10 days before closing and there's something wrong and the seller can't find a contractor to fix that situation to get closed. We will do the CL 100 at the time of the complete inspection. And if it expires the 30 days due to closing not happening, we'll do one free visit back to renew the CL 100. So it gets rid of surprises. Who likes surprises? Nobody in a transaction. We've got 9 inspectors here. You usually can get an inspection with us in usually 2 to 3 days. we're on the phones from 7 in the morning till 10 at night. We have someone answering the phones. I'm always available if you have any questions. And I sound a little bit jaggy. They just called me from the nursing home, and my mother-in-law is in hospice, and she started transitioning this morning. So I had to run over there while I was trying to cook. So I'm a little scattered right now, but I love you guys at Keller Williams. Y'all do a great job. I love the whole thing about it. And if you're new and have questions, call me. I can help educate you. If you don't have, I know they do great team training here, but if you have specific questions about GFIs, the art faults in bedrooms that are required, any of those kind of things that you don't understand on an inspection report, please call me, because I love helping you guys, because it makes a great for all of us. So thank you.
In your prayers.
Thank you.
All righty. As always, got Kelly Collins up from Cornerstone up in our Somerville location. Always a great partner up there. So when you're up there, stop by, say hello, introduce yourself. She's a rock star. If you haven't been to that location, it's in Somerville. So yeah. So let's get rocking. So tell me something good. It's been a crazy, we're already, what month is it? June? We're halfway through the year. It's unbelievable. There's a lot of good that's happened. Let's do 3. Tell me something good. Fill somebody's bucket. Who wants to start?
I got an hour. You got an hour?
I got 1 hour. Oh, there she is.
You don't have to run that. We're testing something.
Okay, cool.
Go.
I'm loud enough, it's fine. I want to say thank you to Hannah, who is on board on my team, and we've had a great couple of first weeks or 2 weeks, and it's awesome. And I'm happy.
Awesome. Let's go right in. Welcome to the family. Who else?
You want me to try the,
No, you just speak. Camera. will let you.
going back to the collaboration piece with Mount Pleasant, and I don't think she's here, but Stella was telling me about the, I think it's now a weekly update with Anton that he does, which everyone who knows Anton, a really smart dude. And it's really interesting to be kind of following that now with what the market doing, what it's doing. And he does a really good job of breaking down, you know, what happened the past month and market monitor updates monthly. So it's interesting to see those trends, and he can explain it in such a way where it makes so much sense. I would encourage all of y'all to get on that Zoom and hear what he has to say. And that was really cool.
That's on Fridays, right?
Mhm.
Love it. Let's give him a hand. Talk to Anton about market stats. You're missing out big time. He's unbelievable in that space. Give me one more. Oh, I don't have to walk all the way back
That's
there.
fine. We have 2 new agents that joined our team. One's here, and then one is not with us today, but big things.
All right, let's get rocking. So I love scoreboards. Scoreboards are awesome. We're going to talk shortly about the ways that millionaire real estate agents think. Two team meetings ago, we talked about the first 4 ways that a millionaire real estate agent thinks. Today, we're going to talk the next, whatever that is, 5 through 9. And one of them is think competitively and strategically. Has anybody read The 4 Disciplines of Execution? You should read that book. It's a really good book. This happened yesterday too. Nobody has read that book. It's a great book. But one of the things they talk about in that book is the benefit of scoreboards. And scoreboards make things competitive. Competition gets the best out of us most of the time, right? Healthy competition. May Wisting's taken. Chucktown leading the way. They've graced us with their presence today. Way to go. Holy smokes. Chucktown leading the way. Gamewell, Synergy Group, SC Real Estate Chick, the Gable Groups, Mandy, and the Baskin team. Way to go. Let's give them a hand. If you take a bunch of listings, what do? You sell a bunch of listings. It's a weird game. This is simple. May listings sold, Synergy Group leading the way, Chucktown. Let's give all these individuals a hand. I can't read up to 9. Let's give them a hand. That's awesome. And if you take a bunch of listings, you sell a bunch of listings, then what happens? You close a bunch of homes. This is weird. This is a simple game. Hard, simple, right? Bold. May closed units, Chucktown. It's a decent amount of closings. And Synergy Group, SC Real Estate Chick. Let's give them a hand for an awesome, awesome May. And I love this. He's here. May is on the left, month to date. So that's the May numbers on the left, year to date on the right. Tony taking the lead from Trenton Seckinger on the year and had a heck of a month last month. Let's give these individuals a hand. Celeste, I see her here. Sarah, top 3 for the month of May. That's awesome. Congratulations. This is some serious production. And I think we're going to get to it, but Tony, I believe, was a top agent in the region individually.
No,
I think he's like top 5. We'll get into that slide, but I just jumped ahead because I don't follow the rules. So a huge congratulations. Let's give these people another hand. This is awesome. Closed units. I mean, closed whatever this is. Production teams. Let's think about something else. May 2022 on the left. Chucktown leading the way. SC Real Estate Chick, Synergy Group, Infinity. Let's give them a hand. This is awesome for May. And year to date. Funny how that works. Chucktown's still in the lead. Somebody beat them, please. You don't have that much further to go. This is awesome. Let's give all these individuals and teams a huge hand. What do we got next? All right, here's the region. Look at this. This is unbelievable. We have 5 people. Well, I guess 4. Tony Jameson leading the way, number 5 in the region for the month of May. That is unbelievable. Virginia Landon across the bridge, Chucktown in the groups, and then you got Chucktown and Dave Friedman team up in the region. There are 42 market centers. 44. I think there's they've talked about 10,000 agents. I think there's 8,000 agents in the region, something along those lines. Don't quote me. But I just make numbers up. But those are always right. This is unbelievable to see 2 of our teams and 2 of our individual agents in the top of the region for May. That's unbelievable. So let's give them a hand. What was it?
One in each market center.
One in each market center. Rocking and rolling. Profit share. Who knows what profit share is? Yeah? Nobody? Yeah. Trent knows. Who wants to explain it? Put you on the spot. Winnie will explain it.
Thanks, guys. Do I really need this, Tiffany? Maybe. Okay, got it. So profit share, whenever you bring on an agent into the market center and they are producing that month, the following month, you, as a thank you from Keller Williams, get a part of the company's profits, the market center profits for that month. So it's a pretty awesome way to pay it forward and also get a little bit of passive income for yourself.
So 48% of the profits at the market center level are shared back to the agents that help generate that profit, right? And what's really cool is naturally getting people into our world. Has KW changed anybody's life in this room, right? This isn't necessarily about this company is better than that company. It really doesn't matter. Everybody knows how to sell real estate. It's about where am I going to fit best so that I can reach the goals that I've set out for myself. And again, leave a legacy worth leaving or build a legacy worth leaving. And when we can create relationships, is real estate a relationship game? A relationship business, right? It's the same with this. Build relationships, find the gaps, help somebody understand how they can get to where they want to go faster. And if it makes sense for them to talk to myself, Winnie, Jessica, anybody on the leadership team, connect them. And if we find that it's a fit for them to get into the KW family, great. Then you get rewarded through profit share. If not, keep building the relationship. Is the co-broke relationship more important now than ever? 100%. We shouldn't just be looking at building relationships with our clients and our database. We should also be looking at building relationships with agents, whether it's for profit share, whether it's so that we can get deals done better for our consumers and clients. Building relationships is the key right now. So profit share, Bill leading the way, Jeremy, Winnie, look at these. These are awesome numbers. Let's give them a hand. I like passive income. It's spectacular. All right, she's sitting here. Sarah Waycaster, let's give her a round of applause. Our cultural ambassador for 2022. So on June 21st, right, Tuesday, we're going up. If anybody wants to join, we have the Cultural Summit. There's going to be some awesome speakers there. We're also going to recognize Sarah and Virginia Landon from Mount Pleasant as our Charleston cultural ambassadors. They're up for the running for the regional cultural ambassador, which is a really exciting thing for them. They've been, they kind of pour the culture of KW out of them every day. They're a huge part of our family. And it's awesome to see her getting recognized. So thank you, Sarah. Yeah. The following day is the Agent of Distinction KW Diversity Certification. That's on June 22nd from 8:30 to 12:30. Anybody who wants to sign up for this can do so. Just shoot us a message. I've been told that it's closed or something, but yeah, the registration is apparently closed, but who cares? You can come. So shoot us a message if you want to go. Yeah, it's free. And Julia Lachey, is going to be joining us, and she's an amazing speaker. She's unbelievable. She's an amazing speaker. She gets it. And huge agent. Yeah.
She was an MCA.
She was?
She's fun. She's funny.
Yeah.
She's not the personality type.
She's pretty awesome. So if you're interested, let us know. We'll get you in.
Actually, like while Jimmy said it was free, it's not exactly free. The region is paying for it.
Well, the market's paying.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But my point is like this is something that normally costs you money,
$279.
but it's being covered for free by the market centers of the region. So
Yeah, I think we have like 8 or 10 agents going up.
And it's also, there's no other in-person offering of this class. Julia Lachey is actually flying from Austin to Charlotte to do this. So if you want to take this class but don't want to do it virtually, one, it's free and you can do that.
Yeah, and she's awesome. So next. Cappers, we love them. Who is it? Scott, Penny, Sarah, Stephanie, and Allison. Let's give them a hand. First closings, we love those too. Fletcher Williams, let's give him a hand. It's awesome. And welcome to the family. Ricky Burton, Terry, Liz, Waverly, Bill, Laura, and Jeffrey joining the KW family. If you see them around, say hello, introduce yourself. Let's give them a hand. Welcome to them. All right. Who's this? This is Holly. So Holly is I guess Kristen's not here, so I guess I'm doing this.
Agent Services Coordinator.
Yeah, you wanna talk?
Sure, I'll talk. Yeah, I'll talk a little bit. Hi, so I'm the new Agent Services Coordinator. I've met a lot of you guys around the office. I just started a couple weeks ago. I'll be around for a really long time. If you guys need anything, you can shoot me an email or just come see me at the desk. You guys should have gotten an email from Kristen kind of explaining my whole bio, so I won't talk about that. But yeah, so I'm here if you need me.
Yes. We're super excited to have Holly on board. So you'll see her around a bunch. We are still looking for another agent services coordinator. So if you know of any talented individuals that want to be a part of an amazing leadership team and want to be a part of an amazing KW family, send their names and numbers over to us, as well as an assistant team leader candidate. So we're continuing to grow, we're continuing to get better and looking to bring more value and more support to this amazing agent base, as well as Mount Pleasant, and just KW and Charleston in general. So if you know anybody that could be a rock star that wants to work alongside the leadership team, and more specifically me, which probably isn't the greatest thing, but it'll be a lot of fun, trust me. Send their name and number over and we can go through the process. So happy birthday to these individuals. Anybody today?
Maggie and AJ tomorrow.
Nagy and AJ tomorrow, so make sure you say happy birthday to them. Let's give all of these individuals in June a big happy birthday clap. Woo woo. All right, KWYP, you want to talk?
Yep.
What is KWYP? Tell us, Jay.
It is Keller Williams Young Professionals, developing the next generation of KW leadership. Thanks.
It's really good.
Thanks. I've done this once or twice. So I just want to talk about, for one, we just got back from Nashville from an incredible national summit. I am still recovering from that trip, actually. But we had Julia Lachey Israel was there. We had like 10 different speakers over a 2-day period. There were just over 300 agents from all over the country that flew into Nashville and spent some time together. It was absolutely incredible. And we are so excited about going to Mega Camp and doing it all over again. So I'll tell you about a little bit of the things that we've got going on. On the 21st, which is next Tuesday, we are having our chapter meeting. We are doing something a little different this go round. We have invited a group of agents to come speak. Here are all local agents. Every single one of the ones that are speaking are done over $10 million last year and are on track to do that again this year. We're going to talk to them about how they built that business last year, but more importantly, what they're doing to keep it as the market is shifting. So it's going to be a really great opportunity to hear from local agents. And I say local, we actually even have an agent coming up from Hilton Head. She's going to be talking with us as well. Taylor Lomprez is her name. If y'all don't know her, she's somebody you should absolutely get to know. She's a rock star down in Hilton Head. And we are delighted to have her and some of the other agents that are going to be here talking about it. So that's going to be next Tuesday. Now we're doing something a little different as well. We've been meeting at Frothy Beard. We're going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to do that meeting over at the Mount Pleasant Market Center, trying to expand our spaces just a little bit. So join us next Tuesday, 4 o'clock at the Mount Pleasant Market Center. It'll be a lot of fun. Let me pull up my notes. I made some notes. If my iPad will work. Oh, and KWYP National is doing a book club. So we've been doing this for a while, but we're starting a new book this month, or actually starting next month because it starts July 11th. The book is Shift. So that's getting started. It'll be every Monday at 3 o'clock starting on the 11th. If you want a reason to go to Los Angeles is having a KWYP launch party. They are having a really cool venue too. So, you know, if you have some points and just want to go across the country, there you go. Mega Camp, we talked about that a little bit. What was that? Yeah. Mega Camp, August 23rd and 24th is in Austin, Texas. If you haven't booked your tickets and all for that, go ahead and do that. KWYP is doing our KWYP Advance, and I made fun of Cami because we call it the Advance because that's what we've always done because it's historically been the day before. This time it's the day after, but we're sticking with the name. It's still the KWYP Advance. That'll be an all-day event. Again, we usually have some pretty big names that you don't normally get to see in person at Mega Camp that'll be there. They haven't announced it yet, but we have a pretty solid belief that Jason Abrams is going to be one of those people, which is really cool. I also just found out this morning, this is really unrelated to KWYP, but I wanted to share it. Glover U is coming to Charleston next week. Is anybody familiar with Glover U? A few people. So if you know what that is, so Glover U, Jeff Glover, for those of you who don't know, well, he's the #1 real estate agent in Michigan, I believe, and has been for quite some time. But he's also one of the top coaching consultants in the real estate business. So his team will be here Thursday next week at the new Embassy Suites in Mount Pleasant. That's right there on the harbor, right there by the bridge. It's $29, so it's really cheap. But he's doing his 15 ways to get 15 listings this summer. So if you are interested in figuring out a way to expand upon listings, it's open to anybody. This is not a KW thing specifically. I mean, although he is a KW agent, this is open to anybody. So if you want to know more information, I've got a link I can share with you. We'll make sure it gets out in the email. But that's a really great opportunity to get to see him. He's also a KWYP member. That's why I added that in there. There we are.
Give him a hand. what a president. What we got here? Wealth Building Wednesday. Coming this way.
Hey, so next Wednesday, for Wealth Building Wednesday, we actually are gonna have Destiny Ray Marshall coming. She was a finalist for 30 under 30, NAR's 30 under 30. I don't think she's 30 yet, is she? She's 27. She went from 0 to 30 investment properties in 3 years. She's actually up to 48 as of last week. So kind of a big deal. Me and Jay are gonna basically interview her and ask her how she did it, what she looks for, basically what her strategies have been, even to the point of like, how does she finance that many type of, investments and all that kind of stuff. So it will be via Zoom, but it will be here. So come here so that we can ask questions, because it will be like an open forum, kind of an interview style. So next Wednesday at 1:30.
And for reference to, like, a lot of people get into this thinking, okay, well, with wealth building, oh, well, she probably had a whole lot of daddy's money to help her. She didn't. Destiny grew up in a single mom, or she grew up in a single mom household. It was just her and her mom and her grandmother. The three of them kind of stuck together. And her mother did not even own a house until just this last year, and Destiny helped her mom buy it. It's really cool to hear her story. I hope she'll share some of that with us, because she literally struggled her way through college trying to pay for it, and stumbled into real estate, got fired from a team, got an opportunity to be a team leader, got fired from that, almost quit, but then she put her nose to the ground and hit the ground running, and literally went from being, this girl who didn't really know much of anything to now I think she's like the number 3 real estate agent in the entire South Dakota region. I can't say that out loud. She's a rock star. And she's just a really cool person. And for her to go from zero, like, she put out a mission, and it started when I first met her. She said, I don't own any real estate right now. I've been doing really good for the last couple of years, but I don't own anything. She said, and I want to own my house, and I want to own 30 doors before I'm 30. And to see her go from 0 to 30, and she's not even 30 yet, it's just really, really cool. So I'm super excited to have her here. She'll actually be here in person in a couple weeks too. So if you guys want to get to know her a little bit better, she'll be hanging out.
Awesome. Yeah, Wealth Building Wednesday is going to be awesome. Let's give that a hand. What's coming up? All right. I'm not.
So we're gonna fly through this. I know, lucky me, right? I went out of this for the game a while. The pivot shift ahead. We're bringing this back because we know the shift is here, not on the horizon anymore. It's here, and so this is a class that I don't know if it started during the pandemic, literally day 1 of it, when everything got shut down, and it's been going strong this whole time. So they are on Zoom every morning. The early birds get there at 7:30. Others get there at 8. I know, Sarah, you guys do you get on it? I know Delicia's on it a lot. Been a couple. Camille gets on it. My mom gets on it. Like, they're getting referrals. I think who said Renee Brown got a referral partner through the chat of this. And so this is a great opportunity for you to get on, not just for the Zoom calls every day, but also for just like the ideas and the conversations that are being promoted. So we've invited a lot of you. If you haven't been on it, go and search for this. It's one of the largest groups in there, and it's awesome. It's a Facebook group. Yeah. So definitely join that. Next. We want to bring back to your attention the KW Connect live calendar. They've actually, during COVID, it kind of went crazy, and you felt like you're on Zoom 24/7, but now they've kind of broken it down. So there's a training every single day at 12 o'clock Central, which is 1 p.m. So grab your lunch and then head to KW Connect. They're doing different classes all the time. In June, they're doing buyer heavy classes. In July, you'll be seeing a lot of listing heavy classes. So bringing you back to focus, if you want a quick 30 minutes to an hour of training every single day, you can put that in your time block. CES, we have a subscription with them. So we've got an awesome trainings happening towards the end of this month. Tech Tuesday is always happening. And then Systemize Your Lead Gen with Zach Younger, who knows Command at a very high level, utilizes that. And he's a great instructor for us. And then in July, which is the next slide, you'll have several things coming up. Safety by Choice, Tech Tuesdays, handling objections, DocuSign classes, Command, the MREA models. So these are all on the training calendar. If you want to attend, you can join. Just make sure you put your market center number in and you can join. They're all via Zoom. All right, Jessica Lucas. If you don't remember Jessica, she is an agent with us. She's been with us for years. She's been with us for 3 years, KW for I think longer. She actually, she's a military spouse, and so she's up in Virginia Beach, but she's still affiliated with our office, has a team here, and she's coming back into town to teach Step Up Your Referral Game. If there's anybody to be learning about referral business, Jessica is definitely one of the top. She's been doing it at a very high level from wherever in the world she's moving to at the time. So definitely come check that out. She will be here in person on June 24th at 12 p.m. So put that on your calendar. And also the region is stepping up their game and bringing some great trainings. This is going to be something, so we have the local level, we have the international level. This is going to be regionally. They're bringing top agents throughout the Carolinas, so North and South Carolina. I know Jay Gray, myself, they're going to be talking about how they're using Command to bulletproof their transactions for your buyers. And so it's a great buyer panel. They all do crazy business. And so it's on June 30th on Zoom from 11 to 12. So put that on your calendar as well. Internet lead generation. We have KT Temple coming into town. He's a team leader in Raleigh now. Yeah. So but he's been doing a lot with CES. This training is actually going to be in person. So we wanted to bring that to your attention on July 28th, give you well advanced notice so no one can say they didn't know about this. So on July 28th, he will be coming into, I believe it's in the West Ashley office. We're hosting it. We're here. Sure. Kristen will tell us otherwise. We have time to change that. So we're going to be hosting it in person, or if we get enough people, we'll outsource it somewhere else. So make sure you put that on your calendar. It's an all day from 9 to 5 where we're going to be talking about internet lead generation. Joseph. He always does.
Go back 2 slides. Thanks. One more. All right. So real quick, this Step Up Your Referral Game. And we talked about the shit, like the Pivot Shift Ahead group. One of the beautiful things about this company is the largest real estate company in the world, right? 170,000 plus agents, whatever it is. One of the beautiful things is the infrastructure, and we don't talk about it enough. We have a Pivot Shift Ahead group that's literally led by James Shaw, one of the most, knowledgeable instructors in this system that you can find. You've got all these regional trainings. It's unbelievable. And then you go to the referral opportunities, right? Renee Brown talked yesterday. She was in the Pivot group. She was listening to something and she threw in the chat that she had a buyer up in New York. Then this individual ended up responding in 2 seconds, created an amazing referral relationship, and ended up connecting their client to a deal. Jessica Lucas, when she first joined KW here in West Ashley, she was doing about $1.8 million in sales. And she said this, and she's given me permission to use this story. She was about to leave the business. She was about to get out of the business, and we determined that, hey, you should go to Family Reunion. She went to Family Reunion and connected with more than 300 people or something ridiculous, right? Wasn't that the number? Some ridiculous amount of people. And she then grew her business from 1.8 million to about 10 million that year. And 70% of it came from referrals in 9 months. Yeah, it was unbelievable to watch. And listening to her, the way that she manages her agent referral base, her database of agents, is exactly how you would manage your client database, but she just takes it to the next level. She treats all agents the exact same way as she would treat clients, with 36 touch systems, with random calls, quarterly calls, gifts. She sends notes. It's unbelievable. So go to this class and learn how to leverage the infrastructure that you're a part of so that you can make more money.
And she was also interviewed by Jason Abrams because of this.
Yeah.
So fun fact on taking Command Tuesday or something.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah, a while back. It's unbelievable. That's all I got. All right, Joseph.
Hello, everyone.
Wow, it's great to see you.
Good to see you. Sorry I'm late.
Yeah.
How many people are on the Zooms? 10. All right. So sorry I'm late.
Of the 10.
That's awesome. Okay. So I was a little late, so I'm going to back up a little bit and fill a bucket. Allison Salmon's in the key office. I'm just going to praise her. That girl is in a deal right now where she is getting beat up, and she has handled it with some amazing class and professionalism. So proud to be in business with her. Definitely wanted to recognize her for that one. So, all right. So a couple things that are coming up. If you have taught or want to teach Ignite, we have an entirely new Ignite program that we're going to be rolling out in August. Yes, in August. We did want to rush into it, and we also wanted to make sure that we provided all of the value and the necessary preparation to the presenters and the teachers. So we are going to have an event on June 28th. This will be a lunch event. We'll get you times and location right away. It's an invite only, so be on the lookout for that. For those of you that have currently taught Ignite or currently teaching Ignite, have taught before or would want to do so. It's going to be a mixed event. We're going to do some train the presenter information in there, kind of do a little bit of a mini refresher on that course. And then this will be the first time that we're going to start doing an Ignite certification through Keller Williams Charleston University. So we're excited about that. Be on the lookout for that one. The next one, everyone mark their calendars, July 13th. 11:30 to 3. We're doing a mid-year, basically we're calling it the 2022 review. We're going to go through what we've done so far this year, and then we're going to talk about what's happening moving forward, what the vision for the rest of the year looks like. We're going to have some guest speakers there. Brian Durberry, who is the president and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce, is going to be there to talk about the economic impact that Charleston's looking out for. He's going to talk about everything from employment to the housing shortage to affordability and those sorts of things. Then we're going to do kind of a mini not re-business planning. Don't panic. It's not going to be a business planning clinic. Yet we are going to kind of look at where our numbers are and then what we need to do to go into the rest of the year. And then we're lining up a concluding speaker for the end of that. And we'll get more information out as soon as we've solidified it. Pretty excited about it. But it is going to be July 13th, 11:30 to 3 at the Cooper River Room. So mark your calendar for that. It's a citywide meeting, and we're looking forward to having a lot of people there. So that's all I got. Awesome. Short and sweet. Thanks. Wow. Appreciate it. So good. Appreciate it. We'll do the rest.
All right. Give it a try. All right. Let's go. Whiskey Steak in May. So we've played these games before. These are we call them the language of real estate. We call them the lure numbers. So pretty impressive stuff. So 9.7% listings taken in the month of May, the MLS was up. Our office was up 72.5%. That's 644.35% higher than the MLS. That's not bad. It's all right. Pretty unbelievable, actually, because I hear it's relatively difficult out there. Listings taken year to date, we're up 63.7%. The market's flat. The market's down 3%. Why does this stuff matter? Market share, why else? No ideas? So as a real estate agent, you're the local expert, right? And people want to work with winners. That's my opinion. And you're winning. If I went and sat down and I'm flat or I'm with the market and you're up 63% in listings taken, you've taken 63% more listings in the market. Who does the client want to work with, right? And then if you go to the next slide, on the year, your business, your KW family is closed over here 82% more. What does 82% more closed units mean? That means for every 10 units we closed last year, we closed 8 more. That's pretty substantial. What's 8 times 10,000? 80,000. So that means you've made $80,000 more than you did last year as well. That's pretty unbelievable. So go to the next slide. Closed volume is up naturally, right? More than the market. It's up double. I'm not terribly concerned about this. I mean, this is very market driven. You want to pay attention to units, right? At bats, we're going to get into quantity over quality, but volume is a very market driven number. Watch out. There's a lot of things going on. You should be reading the news. It's crazy. Month to date, year to date, GCI. This is my favorite number. GCI is what? Your money, gross commission income. For the month of May, up 95%. For year to date, up 107%. That's pretty unbelievable. When I look at the numbers, and I go to gross commission income, last year, our market center, which is all of you, right, closed $13.9 million in GCI. This year, we've closed $8.5 million at GCI. That's 107% more at this point this year than last year. We're on track for more than $25, $26 million in GCI. It's pretty unbelievable, especially when you look 3 years ago, we did 2.8 million. That's a big jump. Not too shabby. Let's give everybody a hand. That's pretty exciting. Profit share it was down in the month of May, which doesn't make sense. But year to date, we're up 43.9%. It's unbelievable. I think we've already shared. So we've already shared $75,000 of profit just this year, and we're only 5 months in because these numbers are through May. So if you're not getting your unfair share of profit share, talk to Winnie, talk to Jessica, talk to me, and we can figure out a strategy so that you can take advantage of one of the easiest cash flows and passive income streams to build. It's unbelievable. All right, we're moving on. So we've got a competition. Well, not a competition, a giveaway. Can I have one of those shift books that your computer's on? Thanks. Appreciate it. Sorry to mess up your setup. It's okay. So shift. Are we in a market shift? Yep. What does it mean?
Market's changing.
Yeah, the market's changing, right? What else? Like, what is a market? Like, okay, so the market's changing. What does it really mean to me? Your strategy has to change. You got to stay up on it. I was in a room with, does anybody remember who Chris Heller was? He was the CEO of KW about, I don't know, back in like 2016, sometimes around there. And I remember sitting there and I was in a small room with him and I'm listening to this guy talk, and it was right around the election. And somebody asked him about the election and they said, what is the impact the election is going to have on the real estate industry? Again, this was 2015 or 16, whenever it was. And he stood there for a second. And he said, you know what? I know it's going to have an impact, but I have no idea what it's going to be. All I know is that I've been in this industry for 20 years and my ability to adapt is paramount to my success moving forward. Our ability to adapt is paramount to our success moving forward. It's such a big deal right now. Everything that's going on, they just raised the Fed funds rate again, right? And the impact that has on the consumer is dramatic. Naturally, they're changing consumer behavior. Until consumer behavior changes, the monetary policy won't change, right? What's really interesting to me about that is when I think of a shift, I just think about money changing hands in a different place. Somebody told me once that to make a lot of money, you have to put yourself where money's changing hands. You have to do what nobody else wants to do in that space and be the very best in the world at it. And number three, you got to leverage your strengths and avoid your weaknesses. So who was in the business in 2008? Anybody? Camille, Jeremy? Did you play in the short sale market at that point? Yeah. Do you anymore? Not really. Maybe a little, but not really. Right now you play in a different space.
More than 1% last year was short sale.
Exactly. What my point is, at that point, or in 2008, you had to adapt and play and become a local expert in the market of the moment. I don't know what that means right now. Figure it out quickly. But we have to adapt and play where money is changing hands. So I always talk about this book. Why do you think I like this book so much? Mine's broken. It doesn't have a cover, but this is the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. Because it's a model, it's a playbook. The best thing about this is it transcends industry. I can launch other businesses based on the models of this book. And how many times do you think agents come to me and say, I want to figure out how to get more leads, or I'm hiring somebody and I don't know what to do. How do I train them? Or I'm going to hire somebody but I don't really know the model to follow. Like, how should I scale? Well, what's funny is I can answer every question of that book with a page number in here, or every question with a page number in this book. I can go to page 138 and find whatever it is about what lead mechanism is going to work. And I can start there. If I want to learn how to take more listings, start with page 102, right? If I want to learn how to hire somebody, go toward 150 something, right? It's all right here. What percentage of wealth was made in real estate? What percentage of millionaires were created out of real estate or through real estate? 90%. 90%. So although this is a great model for everything, me personally, I look at real estate as a vehicle. And this is an easy model to follow if you want to impact a lot of people and build a pretty big business and leave a legacy. So with that said, We talked about the first 4 about 2 team meetings ago, so nobody will remember. We talked about the first 4 ways that a millionaire real estate agent thinks. We talk a lot about thinking, and there's a reason that we talk a lot about thinking. Mindset sets the tone for everything else. Who can name the first 4 ways that a millionaire real estate agent thinks? And I'll give you a shift book. I knew nobody would know. It starts with a big why, right? That's the first way that a millionaire real estate agent thinks. What's the second? Big models. Yes, big models and big goals. What's the second? Or I mean, what's the third? Got to think. Starts with a P. Try again. Possibilities. You got to think possibilities. Nobody's getting a shift book. And gonna come up with another giveaway in my head right now. And then what's the fourth? It's my favorite. It's swing the bat, take action. We'll come up with something else. You guys were awesome. Yeah. So the first way is big why. You have to be powered by a big why. The second way is follow big models and set big goals. The third is think possibilities. If you don't think that it's possible, it's never going to be possible. And lastly, the number 4 is take action. So today we're going to talk about 5 through 9 real quick in 7 minutes. Number 5 is one of my favorite. Is this a scary time? It's an odd time. Inflation's higher than it's been since 81. I mean, that's, with all due respect, I'm 33 years old. I've never experienced inflation like this. There's 75 million millennials, and it's a massive pool of buyers right now. They're a massive percentage of the buyer pool, a really big one. None of them understand inflation. They've never lived through it at this level. So from an education standpoint, us understanding and then educating that subset of buyer or seller, helping them understand what inflation is a really important piece of the puzzle, being a local expert. People see the news every day. Is there anything good in the darn news? My goodness gracious. Every once in a while, there's something nice. Now they watch. Yeah. So now it gets even more convoluted, right? So I always look about, and I'll be vulnerable about fear. I think everybody in this room has fear at some point, right? I was totally fearful of the team leader role. I said to multiple people for years that I'd never be a team leader. No shot in hell. Oops. No shot. So close. I almost made it the whole time. No shot I was going to be a team leader, right? However, after a lot of conversations with people, I was able to overcome my fear because of the people that I had around me. And I made a commitment, right? And when you make a commitment, there's something called the 4 C's. I'd write them down. The 4 C's. Number 1, it's commitment. Make a massive commitment that makes you want to pee your pants. That was the team leader role for me. Still is. Wake up fearful every day. Good start. Number 2, have the courage to just go and do that commitment. What's the easiest way to get over fear? Do it. Just jump. It'll be fine. Just do it. Yeah, one of the two. It won't be that big of a deal. So, and what does courage really mean? It means do whatever that massive commitment is that you were going to pee your pants doing. Just do it with wet pants. Go for it. Rock and roll. Then what happens when you do something that you didn't think you could do? You start to get credible you gain credibility. You trust yourself, you gain credibility from your peers, from the people around you. And then when you start to get valid and you start to believe you're valid, the next thing that happens is confidence. Confidence is a big piece to the puzzle. Then what do you do? Because you're going to get bored. You're going to take another massive commitment and just push through again. That cycle, I always get super bored. That cycle is so important when we think about fear. You can forget everything and run, or you can face everything and rise. This group has it in them to face everything and rise, even during the scary time where units per agent are lower, right? And that'll change. You just have to survive through it. Next is think progress. So this is page 88 of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. It's my favorite page, hands down. It is swing the bat. We always talk about quality, 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 but quality is created through quantity. The more we do something, the better we're going to get at it, right? Does anybody know who likes baseball? Does anybody like baseball? Yeah, you like baseball. You like baseball. What is the batting average that most need to get into the Hall of Fame? 300, right? What's a batting average of 300 mean?
They hit the ball 30% of the time.
30% of the darn time. That means that 7 out of 10 times they go and sit their behind on the bench because they struck out and they get paid millions to do it and they make it to the Hall of Fame. It's the same concept in business. Swing the bat. The more you swing the bat, the higher the probability of you hitting the ball. It is the simplest concept, and it's really hard to do if we don't overcome number 5, which was face fear and just go for it, right? The other thing real quick about fear is, do we have to only manage our own fear and overcome our own fear? Or do we have to manage and overcome the fear of our clients as well? If I'm fearful, can I help somebody else overcome that fear? It starts with self. Really interesting thing. So hold on one sec, sorry. The other piece to this is I was talking to Anton yesterday. He's taken more than 1,000 listings in his career. You think the first time that he took a listing, it was very good? No, it sucked. His presentation was absolutely horrendous and he admitted it. He did win the listing though. His percentage now of when he goes to a listing appointment, his percentage now is like 95+%. Do you think his percentage back then when he first got into the business was 95%? No shot. How did it get to 95%? Practice. He refined his skill. And what's an easy way to refine your skill without having to go on 1,000 listing appointments? Practice, script practice. Just do it before you get into the game. If every major leaguer went and swung the bat only when they were at the plate during a game, do you think they'd hit 300? No shot. They practice every day and swing the bat 1,000 times every day before they get to the game. So practice. We can do the same thing in business. Next is think competitively and strategically. I love this, the competitively piece. What's really interesting about this is this business gets super boring. Success is massively boring. We could just say it because you're doing the same thing every day, because success is all about consistency and pushing through the monotony or the tedious aspects of doing the things that you have to do every day. How do we gamify things and make it fun? If it's not fun, do we like to do it? You can say no. I hate doing things that aren't fun. We like to do things that are fun. How do we make them fun? How can we gamify it, right? For example, I was at Morgan Stanley. I made 300 cold calls a day for 4 years, from 7 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock at night. It sucked. I'll be honest. It was absolutely horrendous. And then on Saturdays from 9 to 1. And we had a game that we used to play so that we could get better. And this kind of goes to think progress as well. I always put 7 pennies in front of me. And every time I'd call somebody, my goal was to move those 7 pennies to the left side of the table. And the way that I moved the penny was when they said no to me, which was inevitable, I would overcome the objection and move the penny. And then they'd say no again. And I'd overcome the objection and I'd move the penny. My goal was to get to 7. I probably only got to 7 like one time because by 5 they hang up. And that's a beautiful thing too. But what happened by me gamifying just handling an objection? It helped me get really darn good at handling objections, because I didn't just handle one objection on every call. I handled 5 to 7 on every call. I had no attachment to the outcome. I just wanted to play that game. Another game I played was I counted the no's when I hung up. So I knew that for every 32 to 35 no's I got, I had a yes around the corner, and I was going to sit down and set an appointment. So all I had to do every day is get the 32 no's. And then I was so excited to pick up the phone and call the next person because I knew a yes was right around the corner. I gamified it. I made it fun for myself. Then we drank a bunch of beer and ate pizza on Thursdays and Friday nights and putted in the hallway with headsets on. That was fun too. Strategically, real quick. So strategically, how do we think differently about what we're currently doing? I get every day somebody comes to me and says they want to farm. I think that's a great idea. I think farming works. It's an awesome idea. How do you do it a little bit different than everybody else? What does it look like to think strategically about farming? We just went through, people are still cleaning their yards, right? What happens if instead of just mailing a neighborhood, I went and bought for a few $100s a bunch of bags like they have at Lowe's, but put my name and number on them, went and handed them out through the whole neighborhood. And then for a week, because they do it on the weekends, right? I usually clean my yard on the weekend. And then I put the stupid bags, which I hate, out at the front of at the road, right at the curb. Thank you. Brain, not so good. Put it at the curb. Now I just got 3 days because the trash doesn't come till Wednesday. I just got 3 days of free marketing in an entire neighborhood. It's doing the exact same thing as a postcard. You're farming a neighborhood, but you're thinking strategically about it. You're doing it a little bit different because that's what consumer experience is about. Does that make sense? Think strategically. What's next? Oh, real quick, the curveball. So when you start to think strategically, people aren't going to like it. I think it was like 1860 something that the first curveball was thrown. It's in this stinking book, right? So whatever year it was, the first curveball was thrown. Everybody was angry, but the rules just stipulate that you have to throw from that mound, which is X of 90 feet or whatever it is away from the plate. And you just have to throw it over the plate. And here's the strike zone. And here's what's going to be called a ball. Nobody said anything about the ball having to go straight. They say that any athletic person can usually get a hold or hit or just foul off a fastball, but only a major leaguer can hit a curveball, right? What happened when they threw a curveball? Well, the batters got angry. You have to throw this straight. No, you don't. I'm playing within the rules. I'm just thinking better than you. That's what thinking strategically is all about. Think standards. If my goal at the beginning of the year when I went to Joseph's business planning clinic was to take 4 listings, right? That would be my standard, correct? So that I hit my goals and I live a big life like I wanted to, correct? Say yes. Yes. If I get 2 every month, what's my standard? No, your standard is 2. It's what you tolerate. Your standard's what you tolerate every day. And that's okay, there's no problem with it. But if you want a different standard, then evaluate what's going on and change the activities, change your thinking, change the activities so that you can get a new standard, right? Because the standards we hold for ourselves define the standards we provide to our clients. This is a really big piece to the puzzle. If you think right now standards aren't more important than ever, you're crazy. It's getting more competitive. And then lastly, we've got to think service. There's 3 areas of service: purpose, value proposition, and fiduciary responsibility. This is a really big piece to the puzzle. Our role is to provide a service, to educate, and to be the local expert, right? As a real estate agent. We have to be able to define our value proposition. If you have trouble defining your value proposition and can't clearly articulate it, go to page 95 and read about the 10 ways that you'd service a buyer and 10 ways that you'd service a seller. Take that, articulate it how you want to articulate it, take what you're currently articulating and make it better. Because this is a really big piece to the puzzle. You know what percentage of real estate agents got into the business in during COVID? 60% of the real estate agents now have gotten their license within COVID. 60%, that means 40, that's a massive amount. That is a massive amount of people, right? Can this room, who many got their license before, provide a better service and do these things that we just talked about at a higher level than maybe somebody that got their license during COVID? Probably. You're ahead of the game, the innovator's dilemma. You're further along the curve. So you have a huge opportunity, right, to take market share at this point. I'll make one last point before we move. You've heard that 88% of that consumers say that that I'd use my real estate agent again, correct? What percent do? 25. It's 13. 13, yeah. So it's close. Yeah, you did good.
Still pretty terrible.
So yeah, you were really just like off. So 13% do. How come? What's the reason? Yeah, they don't follow up. That's the logical answer, right? Is that true? It's,
You've heard the speech.
is it true? It's not, it is. An aspect to it, Camila, absolutely is. But what else could happen? What's the average tenure of a real estate agent?
10, 15 years maybe.
It's 5. It's 5. And if you remove outliers, it's closer to like 2, 3. What's the average individual? How long is between the average transaction for a person? 5 to 7. It's closer to 10 and it's getting down toward 5 to 7. So if that's the case, and the average real estate agent is around between 2 and 5 years, but the average consumer sells every 7 to 10 years, is the real estate agent still here? Probably not. That is fascinating. That's really interesting. Here's how I think about it. I'm going to be around for more than 5 years, and I'll be around for more than 10 years because I'm going to do the activities it takes so that I can stay in the business and build what I want to build, just like all of you. That means that there is massive opportunity at huge exponential database growth because most individuals aren't in the business anymore. There's a huge opportunity to change the way that we're thinking about how easy it is to go and get business. And never think that somebody isn't your client. I probably said this to people before, but how many newsletters do you think I'm on? I'm on this one right now. I think it's fascinating.
If you, if you were an ALC should answer.
Yeah. How many newsletters do you think I'm on?
4.
How many real estate agents do I know?
300.
Probably like 800 or 1,000. You guys are great. That's a lot, but I'm on 5. I'm on 5 newsletters. How come? What? Alan Donald, Scott Baskin, Dave Friedman, Robin Phillips, and John Wells. Yeah, and John Wells. Really, really interesting.
So
Right? 3KW. Trenton, I had to add myself to Trent's, but so 6.
That proves your point.
That proves what. Here's what's cool about that. How come that's the case? Because they don't believe I'm a client. How many people in your database do you not believe can be a client? But I just gave you an example of most people are out of the business. Everybody is a client. Everybody has the potential to be a client if you go and nurture that relationship and bring them service. So that's all I got for you. Reach out to everybody. Don't put me on your darn newsletter, but yeah, they won't. I mean, one person added me since I've been on that soapbox, like the soliloquy about newsletters, and it's been a month. Yeah. I am humbled. Yeah. I'm humbled to be in business with each and every one of you. If you need anything, call the leadership team. We're all here to help you. Let's rock and roll.